I wanted to be a nurse all my life. I mean, I was just born to do nursing. I knew this was the career path I wanted to take. Holding someone's hand, listening to their story, being a sounding board for them and advocating for them. There's no greater profession than to be a nurse and care for people.
When Dr. Green didn't show up at work today, the staff at the health division knew something was wrong, so they reached out to family.
Well, Dr. Kandra Green, who heads the county's health division, was found murdered in her Pontiac home this afternoon.
Y'all don't even know how much this means to our family. Y'all don't know. I didn't know how my sister affected everybody. There were people crying in the beauty shop, people crying at the eyebrow shop. I didn't know that. I knew she was mine because she was my best friend too.
"50-year-old Dr. Kandra Green was an intelligent, goal-oriented, and high-achieving woman who dedicated over 30 years to the nursing profession. As a public health nursing administrator at the Oakland County Health Division, serving her community is something Kandra has always been deeply passionate about. From 1993 to 2007, she worked at North Oakland Medical Center in Pontiac, Michigan, where she served as a manager in the neonatal intensive care unit from 2004 to 2007. In 2007, Dr. Green joined McLaren Healthcare, where she advanced from patient care services to becoming the vice president of patient care services and chief nursing officer. In August 2019, she transitioned to Oakland County, where she began her career as a public health nurse. When the pandemic struck in March 2020, Dr. Green became the Oakland County Health Division's Quality and Process Improvement Supervisor. In this capacity, she was instrumental in hiring, training, and deploying 68 nurses to 28 public school districts and 125 private or charter schools. By May 2021, she had risen to the role of Public Health Administrator, where she managed comprehensive countywide programs and developed mental health responses following the Oxford High School shooting. Dr. Green's dedication did not go unnoticed, as she was honored with the prestigious Nightingale Award for her outstanding community work during the COVID-19 pandemic.
She has been driven to educate and vaccinate her community and to save lives. Take a listen.
Thank you, Dean Didion, Oakland University Selection Committee, Board of Visitors, donors, and sponsors for your continued enthusiasm to host the Nightingale Awards and recognize nursing excellence. COVID aimed to conquer, destroy, separate, and limit our families, our coworkers, our business relationships. But today, nurses, we stand strong, we stand united, we stand undefeated in our pursuance of health and well-being. I celebrate this honor with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Join me in congratulating Kandra Green. Thank you, Kandra, for all that you do.
2022, Green made history as the first Black woman appointed as Oakland County's health officer. She achieved this remarkable milestone while earning 4 degrees: a bachelor's in health services, a master's in business administration, a postmaster's certificate in lean leadership, and a PhD in organizational leadership. Despite her professional success, Kandra was still missing something. She decided to give love another chance. She met and fell in love with 52-year-old Charles Quincy Green Sr., a garbage man whose sense of humor, affection, and care for others captivated her. After a brief courtship, Charles proposed, and on September 3, 2020, they were married. The joyous occasion was celebrated by their family, friends, and coworkers. Things were really going well for Kandra. She had a career she enjoyed, wonderful friends, family, and she finally found someone to fill that missing piece of her life. Everything seemed to be going as normal until family, friends, and coworkers were unable to get in touch with Kandra. No one could have ever predicted the shocking chain of events that would soon unfold. Around 1:30 p.m. on May 11, 2023, Oakland County sheriffs responded to a home for a welfare check. Upon entering the home, they would find an unresponsive adult female and an adult male.
Family members went to the home, started to walk into the house. It didn't look right. Smartly backed out, called 911. We immediately responded, made entry into the home, and found 2 individuals deceased.
The victim was identified as 50-year-old Kandra Green, who was sadly pronounced dead at the scene after succumbing to a gunshot wound to the chest. Not far away from her also lay the body of her husband, 52-year-old Charles Green Sr., who was also pronounced dead at the scene after a gunshot wound to the head. Truth is, after just 3 years, the couple's marriage took a dark turn. Kandra was no longer happy, as Charles had transformed into someone she barely recognized, argumentative, angry, and controlling. Kandra, naturally a determined and ambitious woman, refused to let Charles hold her back. On the night of May 11th, after returning home from work, the two had a heated argument. It is speculated that Kandra wanted to leave the marriage, and Charles, who was not financially stable, just couldn't handle it. As she attempted to leave, he grabbed the gun, shot her in the chest, and then he was also shot in the head. When Kandra didn't show up for work, her concerned colleagues reached out to her mother, sensing something was wrong. Her mother contacted the sheriff's office, who would ultimately locate Kandra and Charles' deceased bodies.
Dr. Green and her husband Charles, sheriff's investigators say it appears to be a murder-suicide, but say autopsies and other crime scene data collection here will be critical.
It appears that our female is the victim and a male individual was the perpetrator. Again, that's still early.
Family members I spoke to off camera at the home are in shock and trying to process this. When I reached out to County Executive David Coulter's office tonight, they too are having a hard time processing the news.
Just 3 days after Kandra's tragic and untimely death, friends, family, and co-workers gathered for a candlelight vigil in front of her home. Her heartbroken daughter and sister, those struggling to find the words, stood proudly in honor of the woman who meant so much to so many. The vigil held on Mother's Day marked a day that would never be the same for Kandra's daughter. Now, those left behind are haunted by unanswered questions and the agonizing what-ifs, wondering if there was anything they could have done to prevent this tragedy. All they have left to hold on to are the memories.
As it turns out, as you said, investigators determined that she'd been shot in the back and that she'd been shot by her husband, who shared the home with her. So 3 days later, I should say, on Mother's Day, family and friends gathered to honor Kandra, who everyone says was the most amazing, kind-hearted, awesome person. And even if you didn't know her, I think it's very evident when you look at the photographs of her that this woman was someone who had a large heart and a large personality and who welcomed everybody into her life. And it was very evident listening to what everyone was saying today. And I want to play some parts of the vigil for you. First, you're going to hear from her daughter, and then you're going to hear from her sister. Take a listen.
These past 4 days have been so hard. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. You were everything to me. I love you so much. I'm staying strong and staying brave for you because I know you will want that.
No one will ever truly know what happened inside of that home that afternoon. Either way, Kandra didn't deserve what happened to her. Prayers to her friends, family, and co-workers. Rest in peace, Dr. Kandra Green.